Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to knit an angel, and this is the first part of the knitting the nativity scene. So we need white yarn for the body and for the dress. Obviously you can knit his wings from the white yarn as well. I just wanted to change it a little bit. So I have this very pale yellow for the wings. I have the pink, which should be a much paler pink for the face and for the hands. And I also have this gold thin yarn for the sparkles, for his crown and for his dress, for the sleeves and for the bottom of the dress. You also need double pointed needles. Oh, you could use circular needles, of course, because this is not knitted in the round, but I find it so much easier for the cable not to be on the way, because we won't have a big piece to knit. So double pointed needles like this one should do. You need a darning needle or a tapestry needle, whichever one you have. I have these metal ones. I also have some plastic ones. You need scissors and a row counter. So the first thing that we're going to learn how to knit is the body and the dress. So we only need the white yarn and the gold yarn. The first thing that we need to do is we're gonna leave a little tail like this. Then we're gonna do a slip knot. This is how you do a slip knot. Hold the yarn like this. Put your fingers, twist and grab and pull through, and then you can adjust this by pulling the end. And we're going to cast on 3. So we have the slip knot stitch, and then we're going to cast on 2 more. There we go. We have 3 stitches. Then we take the other needle, and then we're gonna knit from back, knit front, knit back on the first stitch, and then we're gonna knit the other 2 stitches. So we have 4 stitches on our needle. It's a bit hard to do the first row because it was quite tight. So we have 4 stitches. Then we're going to turn our work and we're going to purl. Then we're going to turn our work again, and we're going to knit from back in every stitch, which will give us 8 stitches. So we're going to knit through the front, pull through, twist, knit through the back and pull off. I'm going to do that again. Knit through the front, knit through the back, pull off. Ooh. Knit through the front, knit through the back, pull off. Knit through the front, knit through the back, pull off. Then we're going to purl a row. Soon, because we need to do like a lot of increases here. Now we're going to increase again on every stitch, knit from back, and we're going to do this. So this would be row number 5 that we're going to start, and every other row we're going to do knit from back on each stitch until we end up with 48 stitches. So on the angel, this is what we're working on. I know it looks like a pattern, but it's not. It's just knit from back all the way around like this. And this is going to be open, so I stitched it up here. But yeah, so keep repeating the increases until row 11. So once you finish row number 10, which was a purl row, a wrong side row, you should have 48 stitches on your needles now. And now we're ready to do the purl row here, which will kind of make the fabric fold better so the angel stands up. But we need to increase also to have 50 stitches altogether. So we're gonna purl in the first stitch, put our yarn back and knit in that stitch as well. So we've increased. Then we're gonna purl to the last stitch. So here we are at the last stitch, so we're going to purl in it, move our yarn back, and do a knit. So now I have 50 stitches, and we finished the base of our angel. And it's time to join in the sparkly color. Now you don't have to do this if you don't want to. You can just do the white. But I think it looks quite nice, so all I do is put this, leave a tail, put this here, put my yarn in the front, and then I'm gonna purl the whole row with both of them. And you want to do a purl row, a knit row, and another purl row, which makes 3 rows in stockinette stitch for the glittery part. So once you've knitted 3 rows in the with both colors, we're going to cut the sparkly color and leave a little bit of a tail because we're going to tie them both together when we assemble the angel. And now we're going to start a series of decreases. So every right side row for 10 right side rows, we're going to decrease 2, and when we're finished with the decreases, we're going to end up with 30 stitches. So to start with, we're going to knit, let me just check my notes. We're going to knit 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. Then we're going to knit 2 together. We're going to knit 22, 1, 2, 3, 21, 22. Then we're going to slip 1, knit 1, and pass the slip stitch over. That's the second decrease, and then we're going to knit to the end. So when you finish the decreases, you should end up with 30 stitches on your needles, and this is what they're going to look like on the sides. That's why we do them on the sides. So when you have 30 stitches left, you want to work 11 rows of stockinette stitch, and then I'll show you how to shape the shoulders. So we're back with the angel, and we're ready to shape the shoulders. So you've done all the decreases, and then you worked 11 rows of stockinette, which is the body, and now we're ready to do the shoulders. You should have 30 stitches up here, and this row, to shape the shoulders, we're gonna knit together 2 stitches at a time, so we'll end up with 15 stitches. So let's start with this. Knit 2 together, knit 2 together, all the way to the end. Okay, now we're left with 15 stitches. We're going to turn our work and purl all of them, and this is the shoulders done. That's the shoulders done. Now we need to cut our yarn and attach the pink or light pink, or if you want you could just continue using white. Should be fine. I mean, angels are light, so they can have white faces. Okay, we're gonna knit the whole row with the pink. And we're gonna purl. Okay, you could tie these two together so your stitch won't get loose. All right, now we're ready to do the increases for the face, and we're gonna start with knit 1. Then we're gonna knit front and back all the way to the last stitch. It's 28. So the last stitch, we're just gonna knit. Now we're gonna purl and repeat that for 11 rows in stockinette. So purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit for 11 rows. You want to get your row counter ready. Okay, so start with a purl row, work 11 rows of stockinette stitch. Once you finish the 11 rows of stockinette stitch, this is the face. I mean, I know it looks quite big, but it's going to be rounded up. And now we need to finish up the top of the head, and what we need to do for the next 2 rows is just decreases of knit 2 together. So we're going to knit 2 together all the way across, I have to say it knits quite quickly. It takes though quite a lot of patience to put together, but when it's done it really looks cute. That's mine over there. I'll put it in the background. So the second decrease row, knit 2 together all the way across, and we end up with 7 stitches. maybe I should just put him out of the way. Cut our yarn a bit longer because we're going to use this yarn to seam the head together. And then you take your needle and thread it through. And then I'm just going to put this yarn through the remaining stitches, which are 7. Just like that. Don't let it be tangled up. Once you have the thread through all your stitches, you pull your needle out and pull to tighten it. And then you just make a knot here to make sure it stays all gathered up. And you pull through, and that's the body and the head. And I know it doesn't look like anything now, but once we stuff it and we sew it together, it's gonna look like this.